In today's show, Bitcoin targets its record 8th weekly red candle, while the Bitcoin price limits its weekend losses. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis. And as pointed out here, it's time for Bitcoin to make a decision and expectations for the coming week. Green numbers for Bitcoin, says crypto analyst Mikhail Bende-Pop. And as shared here by Plan C, Bitcoin has been less correlated to the stock market over the last 7 days versus the last 30 and 90 days. And as shared here by Plan B in this new poll, next 5-year Bitcoin price will stay below, and 39.8% of you said $500,000. In big news in Ecuador, with the first Bitcoin ATM being installed. Also, Central African Republic president says expect an announcement regarding Bitcoin very soon. And if you missed the memo, they're the latest country to adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender. And also, happy Bitcoin Pizza Day. It was 12 years ago that Laszlo spent 10,000 Bitcoin, worth $30 at the time, on 2 Papa John's pizzas. Today, that 10,000 BTC is now worth over $301 million, officially making it the most expensive pizza ever. Also in today's show, crypto hedge fund CEO lists 3 potential catalysts for the next Bitcoin price rally. Here are some possible white swan triggers. Number 1, El Salvador's conference of 44 central banks. Number 2, OPEC to use international payments. And number 3, commodity nation sovereign wealth to conduct thesis-driven allocations. Also in today's show, Bitcoin bull Mike Novogratz warns crypto traders and says altcoins are at risk of another 70% decline. As he shares here, alts are down over 80% from the highs. In 2017, it was over 95%. That is down another 70%. My point is, picking bottoms is dangerous, and if you do it, scale in slowly. Also in today's show, Bitcoin will go into the millions, predicts Microstrategy's Michael Saylor. He shared this bold prediction with Yahoo Finance following a market-wide bloodbath as MicroStrategy's own Bitcoin position hangs in the red. Quoting him here from this new interview, "There is no price target. I expect we'll be buying Bitcoin at the local top forever, and I expect Bitcoin is going into the millions, so we are very patient. We think it's the future of money." We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. The goal is to get to 100,000 subs, and if you like getting that crypto, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, including weekends just like this. And today's episode is brought to you by BlockFi. To help celebrate Bitcoin Pizza Day, here's how you can win a slice of some BTC. Now, as we all know, Laszlo traded 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas, and all you have to do is trade $21 or more worth of Bitcoin for an extra slice of Bitcoin on BlockFi. And as they share, P.S., there won't be leftovers. Here's how it works. It's pretty simple. Go click the referral link in the description right down below. It's going to take you here, register for BlockFi and set up your account. Purchase simply $21 worth of Bitcoin and post some evidence. Share a screenshot there on their Twitter feed and let them know. You will automatically qualify to win a free slice of BTC. It's that simple. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description right down below. Happy Bitcoin Pizza Day and best of luck on winning a slice of BTC. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts and happy Bitcoin Pizza Day. I'm your host, JV. As usual, we have a lot to cover, so let's dive right in. Bitcoin gave the bears little joy over the weekend as the May 22nd weekly close looks set to resolve around $30,000, which you can see right here, which is precisely where we're currently at. Now, data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView followed Bitcoin as it held the narrow range after the Wall Street trading week. With volatility absent, traders hope for a move to larger areas of support or resistance next. As Crypto Tony shares here in this Bitcoin update, still wedged between the supply and demand zone, hoping for a break today so we can have some juicy action to play with. And as Matthew Highland updates us here, it's time for Bitcoin to make a decision. Do you feel it will be to the upside or the downside? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. For crypto analyst Mikhail Bende-Pop, he says expectations for the coming week. Green numbers for Bitcoin. I think it's long overdue considering we're breaking records with these red weekly closes. Now keep this in mind. If we close around where we're currently at $30,000 or below, we're going to seal a record 8th consecutive red candle on the weekly chart, which is not good for the Bitcoin price action. And the week of the World Economic Forum could likewise be overshadowed by external market turmoil. Cointelegraph noted that the S&P 500 already lost 20% from its peak to enter an official bear market territory. And for popular Twitter account Plan can't see, he nonetheless notes that Bitcoin's correlation to stocks has been decreasing compared to the previous months. As he points out here, Bitcoin has been less correlated to the stock market over the last 7 days versus the last 30 and 90 days. And I love this chart right here, the Bitcoin chart that never failed, because when in doubt, zoom out and you can see the rainbow at the end of the tunnel. And checking out the latest from Plan B, he recently polled his audience. Next 5-year Bitcoin price will stay below, and 39.8% of you said $500,000. 29.2% of you said $100,000. 19.2% of you said, which includes myself, $1 million, and 11.8% of you said $30,000, and over 73,600 people voted. And checking out some of the responses, Adam Back wrote, need some bigger numbers, $1 million plus, blow off top or holding during 5 years. And Plan B responded, yes, I should have used $10 million or higher, but it seems like this group is a minority anyway. And checking out some other recent tweets by Plan B, original 2019, $55,000 stock to flow model seems to fit better than later $100,000 update. Interestingly, refit based on 18 million average stock to flow ratio and 3 years new data confirms the original model. The bad news, the $100,000 was probably too high. The good news, the model still points to $500,000 after the 2024 halving. And he also recently tweeted, predicting the future price of Bitcoin is impossible according to the efficient market hypothesis. So why did stock to flow correctly predict a price jump after the 2020 halving? What about the 2024 halving? I wrote an article about this efficient market hypothesis and stock to flow in January of 2020 when Bitcoin was $8,000. And someone responded, remind me again, how much will the Bitcoin be in 2024 post halving? And Plan B responded, formula is in the articles. Bitcoin equals 0.04 times stock to flow, yada, yada, yada. And we end up equaling $532,000 per coin. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Plan B that post-halving 2024, we're likely to see a $500,000 Bitcoin price. Now, big news in Ecuador, the first Bitcoin ATM has officially been installed. Let's go Latin America. Also breaking news, the Central African Republic president says to expect an announcement regarding Bitcoin very soon. As we all know, they recently made Bitcoin a legal tender, being the second sovereign nation to do so. Which country do you feel will likely be next to adopt Bitcoin as the legal tender? I feel personally Paraguay, Mexico, we have Brazil, so many Latin American countries. And before I break down next story of the day, we honor Bitcoin Pizza Day. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, back in the green and pumping. Let's go. We have Bitcoin up almost 2% for the day, trading at around that $30,000 mark. We have Ether up 2.2%, trading above $2,000, while Binance Coin, XRP, Cardano, Solana, and Avalanche are all pumping and in the green. But all right, now let's discuss and celebrate Bitcoin Pizza Day. I have a riddle. What do a family holiday to Japan, a 50-cent album, a steak dinner, and a framed cat photo all have in common? They're all paid for with Bitcoin by members of the Bitcoin community. And just like the Bitcoin pizzas that cost 10,000 BTC, which are now worth more than $300 million, the community's Bitcoin purchases have also skyrocketed. That's right, Benjamin DeWall, the VP of engineering at Bitcoin exchange Swan Bitcoin, said, I spent 7 Bitcoin on a family trip to Japan a few years back. In today's value, 7 Bitcoin is worth well over $200,000. But Ben's happy because his kids are happy. As he shares here, it would have been worth a lot more now, but I don't regret it at all. A good childhood full of adventure, fun, and learning is priceless. Now, Felix Cresson, the scammer vigilante, once spent 50 Bitcoin, now worth $1.5 million, developing a new software module for his company in 2015. And he added that in 2016, let's not forget, some almost won Bitcoin spent betting who the next president's going to be. Of course, I didn't win. That's a $30,000 bet at Bitcoin's current market price. We also have Jeffy Albus, Cointelegraph contributor, shared that he splashed out on a steak dinner to demonstrate Bitcoin's peer-to-peer capabilities sometime in 2011 or early 2012. We paid 15 Bitcoin, 12 for the meal, plus 3 Bitcoin was left as a tip, which the waitress probably threw away. And these stories go on and on. There's so many of them from the Bitcoin community. But now let's fast forward to those wondering what happened to the 10,000 Bitcoin spent on those 2 Papa John pizzas. According to research, 5% of the total landed in a very wealthy wallet, while some of the funds were seemingly liquidated on a failed crypto exchange. Now check this out. The wealthiest wallet of them all chowed down on some of that Bitcoin and is in the top 15 richest wallets in Bitcoin, accumulating over 53,000 BTC. Now for the kicker, kicker, the total spent or sent from the wallet is 0 BTC, a certified Bitcoin hodler. That's right, a true Bitcoin OG. What's your Bitcoin pizza story? Do you have one similar where you may have invested some Bitcoin back in the day that is now worth so much substantially more? Let me know in the comments right down below. And before I break down next story of the day, crypto hedge fund CEO lists 3 potential catalysts for the next Bitcoin rally. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting just under $1.3 trillion with $58 billion in volume. In the past 24 hours, the current Bitcoin dominance on the climb at 44.6%, with the Ether dominance holding steady at 19%. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers in the past 24 hours, we have Phantom leading the pack up 18%, trading just under 45 cents, followed by Zilliqa up 14.6%, trading at 5.7 cents, followed by Neem up about 14%, trading at 6 cents. And now checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers for the past week, you can see we have Kava up 22.2%, FTM up 20.2%, KCS up 20.8%, while the biggest losers are obvious, UST and Luna. And now checking out one of my favorite indicators, it's the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we are currently rated a 14 in extreme fear, yesterday a 13, last week a 10, and last month a 26 in fear. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That could be a great buying opportunity, aka BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Su Zhu, the CEO of crypto hedge fund 3 Arrows Capital, says that he sees 3 potential catalysts that could trigger a new Bitcoin bull market. The crypto veteran first notes why he believes Bitcoin is entering an accumulation range and suggests that the downtrend doesn't have much further to go. And as he points out, we have had 7 red weeks in a row, the most in the entire history of Bitcoin, indicating seller exhaustion. Second, the crypto hedge fund executive points out that huge trading volume during the collapse of Terra UST, which could signal capitulation in the beginning of a trend change. And third, a sign that Bitcoin is in a reaccumulation phase, according to Xu, is that Bitcoin is showing usual strength against equity markets during overnight hours. Over the last week, the S&P 500 is down 4.5%, while Bitcoin is up nearly 1%. And the fourth signal catching Xu's attention is the Meyer multiple, an indicator that gauges the current price of Bitcoin against its 200-day moving average to determine whether Bitcoin is overbought or oversold. He points out that the Meyer multiple is hovering at historical lows, suggesting that Bitcoin is undervalued. And lastly, he notes how Bitcoin has been trading at a premium during the Asia session. And the crypto billionaire also reveals 3 possible catalysts that could trigger the next bull market for the King Crypto. Checking out his tweets right here. Some signs Bitcoin is re-entering an accumulation range. Number 1, 7 weeks down, the most in Bitcoin history. Number 2, largest spot and derivative volume in a year during the Luna Foundation Guard liquidation of 80,000 BTC to $26,000 price. Number 3, Bitcoin strength versus stocks overnight. Number 4, Meyer multiple at lows. And number 5, Asian hours stronger than US hours. And he continues, some secondary signs. Number 1, 7,000 Bitcoin inflow into Canada ETF on day of the low. Number 2, Tether FUD. Number 3, Bitfinex longs well through all-time highs. Number 4, people starting to short Bitcoin to hedge private sales. And he concludes here, some possible white swan triggers. Number 1, El Salvador conference of 44 central banks shut out to Nayib Bukele. Number 2, OPEC to use international payments. And number 3, commodity nation sovereign wealth to conduct thesis-driven allocations. So there you have it. And before I break down next story of the day, Bitcoin bull Mike Novogratz warns crypto traders and says that altcoins are at risk of another 70% decline, as well as iShare. Bitcoin will go into the millions of dollars, predicts Microstrategy's Michael Saylor. But first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for detailed analysis of what's going on in the crypto market. This goes for all 1,200 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And of course, you can follow me on all the major podcasts and platforms, from Spotify, home of the Joe Rogan Experience, to Apple's iTunes and Google Play. We're currently receiving over 500,000 downloads per month, and I greatly appreciate your support. You can also follow me on crypto Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, and TikTok. So wherever you're at, be sure to plug in and follow me there. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Galaxy Digital CEO, the one with the infamous Luna tattoo that will live on forever on social media, and Bitcoin bull Mike Novogratz is issuing a warning to crypto traders, saying that altcoins could still see massive devaluations. He tells his 463,000 Twitter followers that altcoins are still at risk of losing more than half of their current value, even if they're already down big from their all-time highs. As he shares here on crypto Twitter, alts are down over 80% from the highs in 2017. It was over 95%. That is down another 70%. My point is picking bottoms is dangerous, and if you do, scale in slowly. Now, the billionaire also gives a gloomy outlook for the whole financial market, suggesting that crypto assets are likely headed to lower prices. Quoting him here, one issue with risk modeling is that all the examples of stress in the past 3 decades, which lead to bottoms, happens in an environment of Fed easing. We're still early in tightening cycle, means confidence in models and even intuition has to be lower. Now, although Novogratz says that the macro backdrop looks bearish, he remains optimistic that the crypto markets will eventually recover. As he shares here, crypto is not going away. The amount of human capital moving into the space isn't slowing down. The focus on building decentralized infrastructure that allows value and ownership to flow as freely as information on the internet isn't slowing down. The GDP of the metaverse is heading one way. Our community is resilient, has a shared belief in a new way of doing things, and the assurance that this is the very early innings. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the Galaxy Digital CEO that we're likely to see yet another 70% drawdown on altcoins. But all right, now let's break down our final story of the day. The frantic price action in the crypto market does not seem to faze the uber bullish billionaire, CEO of tech firm Microstrategy. Michael Saylor has yet another bold prediction for the king crypto, even as his favorite crypto struggles to hold on to the $30,000 mark. The Giga Chad, who started to build up his Bitcoin reserves back in 2020, reiterated his stance that he is in it for the long term, and his strategy is still the same, to buy and hold the world's largest cryptocurrency. Owing to the countless Bitcoin purchases, the Saylor-led business intelligence firm Microstrategy, which was the first publicly traded company to put Bitcoin on its balance sheet, now with 129,218 BTC, its enormous Bitcoin position is currently slightly in the red, sitting at approximately $70 million in unrealized losses at the time of this recording. Just note, if you don't sell at a loss, you don't lose anything because one Bitcoin is still worth 1 BTC. Now, obviously, there is no shaking Saylor's confidence, who assured that there will be no price target at which MicroStrategy will begin liquidating its Bitcoin holdings. Even as the market-wide meltdown evaporated trillions of dollars worth of value, the leading Bitcoin maximalist and his company is patiently hodling firm. That's right. Shout out to Michael Saylor. During a new interview with Yahoo Finance, he goes on to share, there is no price target. I expect we'll be buying Bitcoin at the local top forever, and I expect Bitcoin is going to go into the millions, so we are very patient. We think it is the future of money. I agree 100%. By which year do you think the Bitcoin price action is likely to reach $1 million? Let me know your honest opinion in the comments below. Now, Terra and UST's destructive death spiral was a huge blow that further cracked investors' confidence. According to Saylor, this event will spur efforts to regulate stablecoins and security tokens. The executive of the NASDAQ-listed software company also believes that this drawdown and the subsequent regulation will, in fact, be good for the industry. Ultimately, when the dust settles, people will realize that Bitcoin is superior to the thousands of existing crypto assets, argued the proponent, quoting him here. Once people figure out why Bitcoin is superior to everything else, then the institutions are going to come in with large sums of money, and we are not going to have to struggle through this massive explanation why we are different than 19,000 other crypto tokens. Michael Saylor also affirmed that Bitcoin is the future of money, but to scale up to its ability to achieve billions and billions of transactions, it needs to have an ethically, economically, and technically sound base layer and second layer like the Lightning Network, which we already have. And now for a quick recap, what I covered with you here in today's show. Bitcoin targets its record 8th weekly red candle, where the Bitcoin price limits weekend losses. Also in today's show, we celebrated Bitcoin Pizza Day, as well as crypto hedge fund CEO lists 3 potential catalysts for the next Bitcoin big rally, as well as Bitcoin bull Mike Novogratz warns crypto traders and says altcoins are at risk of another 70% decline, as well as I shared Michael Saylor's latest prediction that the Bitcoin price action is going into the millions. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now for the top 3 comments from yesterday's episode. BitBud wrote, thank you JV for always putting a good spin on everything. Blessings, always a pleasure fam. Thanks for tuning in. Hodl. And our next featured comment comes from Inner Dinosaur. Thanks, JV. Love the show. You always find the positive, and that's a really nice thing. Nothing seems to get us down. You bet when it comes to Bitcoin, I do have relentless optimism. Let's go. And our third and final featured comment comes from eCoin. Aloha JV, having a chill weekend and taking time to enjoy time off from the markets with the current price action, but still gonna get my fill of quality crypto news alerts from you. All right. Cheers, fam. Boring price action this week, but expect a breakout real soon, hopefully to the upside. And to be featured on tomorrow's episode, drop me a comment right down below.